So I've decided to build or repair my raised bed. The wood has completely decayed and is falling in. So I'm keeping the frame of the initial raised bed and I'm just going to repair it with pallets. So here I'm going to take out all the screws from the raised bed, clean it up so that way it's nice and smooth on the top. So I'm going to start taking apart this pallet to be able to build onto my raised bed. I'm just using the wood from the pallet to be able to build onto it. Now I'm struggling a little bit. Some of the nails are kind of tough. I would recommend getting a good pallet, one that's strong and that's not that's not falling apart on you. But it is a little hard to be able to get some of the wood pieces off. Have you ever watched a video and thought to yourself, you know, I probably could do that in 20 minutes? Well, that's me right now, and I'm starting to already regret this idea of fixing this pallet. But I'm going to try to save money, and I'm just going to keep on working at it. I'm going to now start repairing some of an old pallet. I'm going to take some of the pieces from the pallet that I broke apart and nail them to two other pallets to be able to secure my foundation and close in any gaps that I can have from the old pallet. I'm going to dig up my herbs and set them aside so I don't waste them. I don't want to throw them away. I want to replant them. So I'm just going to put them aside while I clean up the rest. The soil that I had before, I'm just going to put it in a wheelbarrow and save it so that way I can mix it with the new soil that I bought. So now I'm taking my finished pallets and centering them on the frame of the raised bed and getting them as close to perfectly aligned that I possibly can get them, and just making sure that they're laying flat. Now I'm going to take my drill and drill it and secure it to the frame of the raised bed. Now I'm going to flip it over. I did close in the gap. If you look at the pallet, I closed in the gap with some other boards. But now I'm going to center it on the bricks and make sure that it's completely level. If it's not level, grab a few pieces of extra wood and just kind of pry them in there. A leveler would be helpful just to make sure that it's not uneven. I also went through with a few extra screws and just tightened up anything that looked loose. You can add tarping in this area. You can add tarping or plastic, and I would recommend poking holes in it so that way the water can seep through and your roots are not sitting in water, but this will keep your soil from falling out. and I'm just going through and even it out. Then I'm going to go through and staple it. A commercial stapler would work a lot better than an office stapler, but I couldn't find it, so I'm just going to use whatever I have, and it'll work just the same. Once the soil gets in there, it'll hold back the tarping and it won't fall over anyway, so it's okay. Now I'm going to go through and add some mesh netting and do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and add my soil, my old soil, and then I will mix it with my new soil. Here I'm going to be adding some black cow compost. I know it's not the most cleanest, and I know it's not organic, but I do know that it works and it's cheap, and that's kind of what I'm aiming for. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and mix it with my old soil. Now I can go ahead and add in my herbs and add in the top compost of the bag I have left. All I need is about 3 more bags to be able to level it off, but other than that, it is finished. And that's it. For about 30 bucks, I was able to repair my raised bed and didn't have to buy all new wood. I didn't need to chop anything, cut anything, and I was able to do it all by myself. And if I can do it, you can do it too.